Hi everyone. Today I'm going to present my project. My project name is Artistic Style AI Image Transformation. So what is an image transformation? Let's move on to the problem overview. In this project, I will implement algorithms to separate and recombine content and style of arbitrary image, creating an artistic image. For example, at the pictures below, we can see we could separate and recombine artistic image and the content image to get a reconstructed picture like the colorful bear. It means we will reconstruct image according to our content picture and artistic picture. So the goal is to get the best image that will match the content representation of the content image and the style representation of the artistic image. Then let's move on to the solution strategy. So as I mentioned before, we need to separate and recombine the content and style. So the first thing we need to do is how to understand the content and style by machine learning. As we studied, the convolutional neural network is a deep network that is very helpful for image problems. For example, the image classification problem or object detection problem or something like that. So the pre-trained convolutional neural network, especially the well-trained convolutional network that contains several layers, that is very helpful for the image classification. So the image classification problem will help us to separate the style and content. For example, if we input an image, that we could feed our image to a model, to a convolutional neural network, that if we pull out some of the intermediate layers, since intermediate layers could represent a higher order features, so it can understand the style and the content. In this way, we can build our style CNN model to output a style representation of our images. And we could also get our content CNN model to finish a content reconstruction. Since we have our model, we need to have our distance. We start with a white noise image as a target image and define the style content representation distance between the images. As we know, the goal is to reconstruct the target image to contain the content and also the style. So we need to get a distance between the content image and the target image. So how to get the distance? How to get the loss? The content loss is like we feed our target image and the content image to the content model. Since the content model is a CNN architecture, so we will get a lot of feature maps. So the distance between the feature maps is our content loss. In the same way, we could get our style loss. The style loss is the distance of the style representations of the feature maps. After we have the distance, we can compute the loss, and the total loss is the content loss plus style loss by some weights. Then we could compute the gradient for the loss and run gradient descent. We could update the target image at iterations until we get the best image that could contain the content in the style. Then let's move on to the experimental design and data sets. As I mentioned before, we use a pre-trained convolutional neural network. I select the VGG19, which is the image classification model using the ImageNet dataset. I also create the content image dataset and artistic image dataset myself. The content image dataset contains animals and landscapes. The artistic image data sets are almost paintings. As I mentioned, we start with a white noise image. Here's the image I generated randomly. Then I can show you the experimental process. After I compute the loss in the iterations of gradient descent, I can show you the image transformation process. For example, for iteration 1, you can see that it is almost a noise image. As iterations increase, like for iterations 1000, we can see there's a colorful bear. I have done 2 experiments. One experiment, I use the content and style picture in my own dataset. The other one, I use the content and style picture in the reference paper. In short, I can show you the results. In this project, we implement algorithms. In the reference paper, we use a VGG19 image classification model to get the intermediate layers for building our own model. Then we compute the style loss and content loss by defining the distance of the content representation and style representation. The total loss is the sum of the content loss and the style loss by some weights. We choose our own weights in the project and run gradient descent, starting with a white noise image. Finally, the reconstruction picture is built, and the whole project is a wonderful journey. In this project, I used the Keras and TensorFlow to build my code. So I think I can improve my projects also in the future. There are some of the future expectations. For example, for the first one, I could build a criteria to tell how good the image transformation is so that we could improve our models to compare with others. Also, I think I can try different pre-trained CNN models to see the difference of the results. And I could also do some practical, like I can apply the method to a specific area to solve some of the real problems. For example, I could build an AI painter using deep learning. Thank you everyone for listening.